Hi, so today I want to talk about passwords and the importance of having different ones. So we're going to start by going to this website, Have I Been Pwned? And on this website here, we're going to plug in an email address. I'm going to pick on bobdole@gmail. And once we click on that, I click the pwned one, and we can see this email address has actually been in 42 different data breaches. So the data breaches has been in are all listed below on the reason. So there was an Adobe one back in 2013, there was an Apollo one, the list goes on. So basically what that means is when an account's been breached, then that means potentially the password that was used for that account is now publicly available if you're up to no good. So we really want to use a different password to avoid such things. Now we could check it out, has our password, like you might have a common password that you use, which many people do, and you can plug that in. So if your common password was welcome1, for argument's sake, we can plug that in and we can see that password has actually been compromised 29,000 times on this list. Now that doesn't mean hasn't been compromised more than that, that's just what's on this list alone that these guys have access to. If we were to go something like QWERTY, QWERTY, we can see there's over 3.8 million which have been listed for that one. So it's a lot. And it seems like it's a complex password, but it's just a sequence on the keyboard. So what's the solution? I know everybody doesn't like having a lot of different passwords, but it's something you need to do. So basically we recommend using Dashlane or LastPass, which is a password manager. So basically what happens here is you download this little application onto your computer, it will pop up in the top corner and you log onto it with a master password. So the master password is something that you make and then you only have to remember that one password as opposed to remembering lots of them. You can also add extra security on top of that with two-factor, so you could have something like an YubiKey, which is a physical device that has to be plugged in. So you have your username, your master password, and then a physical device which you have to touch to actually let you in. Or you can have a text message or an app on your phone which can do the same sort of thing, so you've got extra security there. Now, you might be asking, what am I going to make my master password? Well, the best idea is to make it a phrase or a song. So you might like "The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Music." Now that would be an awesome password. If you were to chuck a capital in a different spot, maybe a number or a percentage sign or a star somewhere in the mix there, then I know it's a long password, but you're only typing it once, because what you do is you go to your computer, you click on LastPass or Dashlane in the top corner, hit login, which I can't do at the moment because I don't have it there, and then you type that phrase in, hit your second factor authentication with your phone or your little YubiKey, and then you're in, and away you go with access to all your passwords for the day. So when every site you go to has got the autofill feature going on. So there's heaps of tips and tricks on the LastPass and the Dashlane site on ways you can use this. You can also use it with business as well, so you can use it to share passwords to staff, and they don't actually have to see what your password is. So I think they're great tools. It's way better than using the same password everywhere, because that's where you're going to get yourself in trouble, and that's where a lot of data breaches happen, because people use the same password over and over again and then are surprised when their account gets compromised. Because if you can see these here on a publicly listed website, then if you're up to no good, then it's much easier to crack into your account. With all that said, when it comes to banking and finance stuff, I don't tend to use LastPass or Dashlane. Yes, they're secure, and yes, they do have the extra security. However, I like to have banking as totally separate devices and passwords that have never been used. That's just me personally. However, everybody's got their own preference. So, I hope that video has been helpful. Look at a password manager. By the way, they also work on your phone. Cheers.